You're listening to the Oracle Talk Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm Dasha.
Hey, I'm Billie Eilish.
What's up, guys? I'm Camila Cabello.
Hey, this is Tate McRae.
I love this station.
I love this station.
You're listening to Chasing Prophecy Radio, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. On the Oracle Talk Radio Network. Broadcasting live in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
If it's unexplainable, we're talking about it.
Whether you're a believer or a skeptic,
we cover everything where the unknown becomes the known.
And now, here are your hosts, Jenny Nicasio and Tom Callway.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another thought-provoking episode of Chasing Prophecy, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. Tonight, we're going to venture into the heart of the unknown with Tom Callway, my co-host. And we're going to go into the unknown, the whispers in the forests and the mysteries that defy logic. Whether you're a skeptic, like the saying says, whether you're a oh boy, you're a skeptic, I don't know, or a believer, the legend of Bigfoot has sparked curiosity for decades. You know that, don't you, Tom? But Tom is my co-host, by the way, everybody. I'm Jenny Nicasio. Is it a myth?
A myth? I don't believe
Bigfoot?
So. I don't believe Bigfoot's a myth. I'll tell you that right now. There's too many stories. There's too much evidence. There's too much.
Or is it a misidentification or proof? Do we have proof? I don't think so. Almost sometimes we do have proof.
Sometimes we do have proof in the form of like literal big foot, like big feet, footprints.
Big feet. I have big feet. It's embarrassing.
Big feet. Yeah.
Yeah, that. It looked like Herman Munster.
I didn't know you had big feet. No.
Yeah, something happened after you had so many kids. I don't know. Your feet grow.
Oh, your feet get bigger.
Yeah.
But former Governor Christie might want to talk to you about that.
Yes, maybe. But oh God,
you can get past the whole weight thing.
Yeah, we can get past the whole way. Yeah, seriously. I don't know.
Oh, Pittsburgh Paranormal Society checking in early. Look at that, Jenny.
Hey, babe, how you doing? Who is it?
I don't know, but it's a hairy alien.
Oh, is it Sean, baby?
Maybe. Sean,
maybe Sean's hiding.
Yourself.
Yes, Sean, please identify yourself, darling.
I think there's too much physical evidence, and it's all like hearsay evidence is what you know what I mean? It's stories, it's lore. It's not, every video we get, and because it's in the woods or a woodland creature, you never get that full-on direct video.
I don't know, but hopefully our guest will show up tonight at 8:10, I hope. Because we're gonna be joined by Squatch Man from Mississippi. I won't go into details because I want him to be here before I introduce him, but I thought we would go ahead and see a TikTok about that's the one that you sent me. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
I have it. So I'm gonna share my screen because I didn't download it. Okay, so look. Okay, wait. Hold on.
Foot shape, and the impression in the snow had time to freeze, it appears, before they found it.
He totally went too fast. Okay. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, it looks good.
Should I make it bigger? I can make it bigger, I think. I'm not the greatest. Is that better?
Yep.
Okay. Now I gotta hit the go button. Okay, here we go.
Bigfoot tracked on a mountain near Troy, Montana. John D. writes RMSO. My good friend that lives in Troy, Montana took these pictures on her property yesterday. The boot size of her husband's 9.5 for comparison. Just wondering what you guys think. RMSO responds. They look Bigfoot shaped, and the impression in the snow had time to freeze, it appears, before they found them. Has your friends or anyone you know that lives nearby ever see a Bigfoot in that area recently or in the past?
It's pretty big.
John D continues, not that I know of, but there have been sightings around that area that I heard before. I think you guys were up in the area a few years ago. It's located between Yak and Libby on Highway 2. They live on top of a mountain with neighbors below. If she is willing, do you want me to have her contact you?
We're going to have to show this to
RMSO
Squatch Man, too.
continues. Yes, please. Have her email us at rmsobigfoot@gmail.com.
I don't know. What do you think?
Certainly a big, foot, print there. And, with the comparison of the husband's 9.5 foot, I mean, if that was a person, would have been about a 12, 13. But what I got was, even with his shoe on, it was much wider, right? Even with his shoe on, it was much, much wider than what a human foot would be. So when you and plus, like they said, it was already frozen in. Now, Jenny, I don't know about you, but I'm not stepping barefoot out to look like 3 inches of snow. I'm not doing that. I'm not walking.
Well, be honest with you, unless I have a beacon, I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
I'm not going out there anywhere by myself because, we did, I know Sean and I did a show on Missing 411, The Hunted. Remember that, Sean? Hey, Sean, what do you mean by my studio looks Miami, like Miami Vice?
I guess you
do I need one of them pink birds?
You need a flamingo.
I do have one. I have one, but it's in the shed probably.
You have a flamingo.
Yeah, and it lights up. I should bring it. There
you go.
It's snowing outside right now in Pittsburgh, so I don't know if I'm going outside. Well, how about you? Is it snowing out there in Philadelphia?
No. We were supposed to get a lot of rain, but the snow holds off. It is snowing like Lancaster, like Allentown, maybe like 3 or like an hour and a half above us, but nothing where we are. It rained for a little bit, but that was it. But I did see that the snow was coming to your area.
Yeah.
And it starts early for you over there, right?
I'm not a fan of snow. No, it's very early. I was hoping it didn't snow at all with, what is that, El Nina or something? I don't know.
La Nina.
So getting back to Bigfoot, my foot.
Bookfoot.
We did a show on The Hunted, and it's scary because a lot of the stuff out there is paranormal, because I truly believe, and I can't wait to Squash, he should be here any minute. I truly believe that there's a portal and he can go. Did my lights just shut off?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it did. There's freaking damn ghost in here again. Son of a bitch. It's like scaring the hell out of me.
I know.
I need some more sage. I need Sean to come here and do an exorcism. Now I'm orange. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I totally believe it's a portal. And he can go in and out of the portal whenever he feels like it. So I don't know what your thoughts on that one. I know what Sean believes. Yes, they are aliens. You think yes, definitely they're aliens. I totally believe they're aliens, Sean. And what portal they're coming in and out of, I'd like to know. Like, what do you think, Tom?
So I'm also of this belief that they are interdimensional. They come in and out of our realm, whether by choice or by convergence or whatever. But and to me, it explains why we have the circumstantial evidence and not like a dead body, right? Not like the scat, not like, all of the other things of every other animal that we have dead. Let me put this for example. Oceans, right? We're always finding new species or species we thought were extinct in the bottom of the ocean and all that kind of stuff. But that's unexplored, right? That's unexplored, and you can't really find that. Here, they say that there's a lot of area that's unexplored in the wilderness, but we really don't find the new land creatures, do we? If we do, it's insects in the rainforest. It's not primates. It's not bipedal creatures walking. So to me, it makes more sense that they would be interdimensional, coming into our realm, a thinning of the veil, where they're only here for a short period of time. You know what I mean? And that's why you've never found the body. That's why you never found, scat or droppings, or, it's just that it makes more sense to me that way.
Oh, good. Squatch Man's here. So I'm going to go ahead and
Okay.
introduce him. And we're up against, Sean said the Steelers are on. Are they on right now? I wish we could pull it up.
On at 8:20.
8:20. We're going to have to get a live stream so no one can miss it. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can find one. Okay. So I want to say that we're thrilled to be joined by Squatch Man from Mississippi today. He's a seasoned tracker who spent 40 years uncovering the truth behind the forest fronts. His story and his insights might just make you think twice about wrestling in the woods, like we know. So go ahead, folks. We're going to go ahead and let's bring Squatch Man from Mississippi in. Good evening. How are you today?
Squatch Man, how are you?
How are you doing, bud?
Good to
How
have
y'all
you.
doing?
Oh,
We're doing good
great.
up
Thank
here.
you.
So glad you finally got on
What's
here,
up?
guy. I'm
Yeah,
so
it's been
happy
a
you
minute.
finally. Yeah. So we have you tonight. That's great. So, damn, you've been around for a while doing this. What brought you into the Bigfoot search? Can you hear us okay?
You break it up. Yeah.
Oh, we're breaking
What
up.
got you into with your long career? What got you into it?
Oh man, shit. I would say the first time was me and my sister. We was kids, and I actually seen one. We didn't know it, but my brother really got me into it. Years later. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Were you always an
he's gone
outdoors man?
now. What's
He's
that?
gone. He's gone now. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah. It's all good.
It's all good. So give us one of your favorite Bigfoot encounters, or did you ever see Bigfoot?
I've seen them several times. I've had personal one-on-one encounters with them.
Wow.
I've had hands-on experience with them. Yeah,
Well, give us
I've
one of
seen them.
those. Tell us about it.
Which one? I mean,
Which one stands out? Which one stands out for you?
oh God, there's so many of them. I could tell you one about me and my sister when we was kids. That's probably what brought me into it.
Okay.
We lived in Louisiana, and my grandparents had a big farm up in North Mississippi, and I own that and all the property now since I'm the only one alive. But we went up there, and we hated to go up there. It was such a long trip, and my grandpa, my grandma was part Indian, and back then, they was old people. Their nearest neighbor was probably 10, 20 miles down the dirt road. He plowed fields with the old mules and stuff, and he had a couple bulls and horses. He trained, and we was down there one weekend, and he had right in front of their house is a big. It was almost like a big, huge circle. Had a big tree right in the center of it. And that's where he tied his horses up and trained them and tied his mules up. And it was barbed wire fenced in. And right behind that barbed wire was I guess you call it a pole barn now. We called it a chute. Where he parked his tractor and he had another little chute on the side that he built on the side to keep that. He had a big Brahma bull, and he grew watermelons, fruit, green apples. Man, he grew the best tasting green apples ever ate in my life. But we was never allowed to go back there. And he used to tell us all the time, "Don't go back there." And he was plowing the field one weekend, and me and my sister decided we want one of them apples. And the only way to get there is go through that barbed wire fence. And we crossed through the fence, crossed to the other side, got to the front of that chute, and we heard a loud, huge bam right up on the right corner of the building. And man, we looked up and it looked like a giant monkey just sitting there staring at us. You know, hell, we was kids, you know, it was probably 8, 10 years old. We didn't know what it was. And we just froze, man. And it just disappeared. It just jumped off in the tree. There was a tree line beside of it. And my grandpa never fooled with that tree line. He kept it cut and clean, but he never went in the woods there. And we was never allowed to go there. And we got a handful of them green apples coming back. And we made it through up under the barbed wire fence, coming back towards the tree. We was almost to the tree, and that Brahma bull got loose. And he come through he's like a freight train. And you know, when you're a kid and you see a Brahma bull, hell, it looks like a Mack truck to you, you know. And the first thing we did, man, was we right before we got to that tree, and that's the only thing we had to protect us from that bull to run behind. As soon as we got behind that tree, whatever that was we seen was behind us in the front of that bull. And he grabbed its neck and just twisted it and just like killed it, graveyard dead, like right there, just bam. And me and my sister just looked at each other. We looked at it, and he walked all the way across to the chute where the tree line was on the right hand side, and he turned around and looked at us and just walked off through the trees. And by then, here come my grandpa. And I'm like, yep, here comes that razor strap, man. And my little sister ducktailed run going toward my grandma. She was out on the porch shelling peas. And she dove up under that barbed wire, and it cut her little legs like razor blades. Oh, the hell, man. She was bleeding. And hell, I still feel bad about that to this day, you know. But my grandpa, I walked to the fence. My grandpa reached over there and picked me up by the nape of my neck and picked me up, stood me over that fence and set me down. He said, I told you don't go back there, didn't I? I'm like, yes, sir. He said, get on the porch. And I knew right then it's going to be some bullshit. You know, I'm like, okay, you know. And my grandma was putting salve on my little sister's legs. And that's all he said. You know, that's all he said about it. He said, I told y'all don't go there. Don't go back there again. And hell, by then you didn't have to worry about us going back there again, you know. And years later they passed away. My grandfather, he was almost 90 when he passed away. And we was in our teen years then. And my grandmother was still alive. She still had the property. And she told my mom that somebody keeps putting watermelons on her front porch every so often. My mama thought it was Mr. Jerry. It was the old man that lived way down the road, my grandpa's buddy. And no, he never, because you know they didn't have hardly no car. Everybody traveled by mules or horses back then, you know. And he said, no, I didn't leave it. So we figured out years later they was growing all that for the Sasquatch. And my my grandfather, they knew about him, you know, but you know, old people back in them days, they didn't talk about nothing. They didn't tell nobody their business, you know. And come to find out after she passed away, we found out that he grew them watermelons and that fruit for years for them because they protected their property. And he grew that for them, and they'd watch over their farm and their house and whatever, you know. And we found that out years and years later, and that's when I pretty much got intrigued in it. And my brother was in the service, and he, you know, he was in Vietnam, and he used to tell me stories about rock apes, and I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, you know. And one thing led to another, and me and him started following them, you know, and here we are, you know. So that'd be my favorite one. That's the one I can most remember was me and my sister, you know. that's pretty much what got me where I'm at now.
That's a wonderful story. So you're saying that big bull, it snapped its neck dead right there.
Oh, it just grabbed his horns and just bam, right there in front of us. I mean,
wow,
it protected us, you know.
Yeah. No, I hear you, and that's another point, Jenny, about this whole thing. Do you remember when we had Brian King Sharp on?
Yeah.
He mentioned a similar story that you had mentioned, Squatch Man, that people do provide who live in the area and cohabitate with these creatures. They do leave offerings for them, and it's not uncommon.
No, the Indians did it 200 years ago to protect their villages. I mean, you know,
so they do it for protection.
But exactly, they do it for respect and protection. You know.
Yeah, and you know, you get a lot of those stories with the people who live there. So somebody who might live in a city and they go out and they want to go look for Bigfoot, this and that, they'll never see him.
No.
But what he was explaining is, you know, when you make offerings, you're one with the woods, you're one with the environment. They do make themselves known.
Exactly. But they have to trust you. You know, they have to. I found that out the hard way. If you're lucky enough to see one in your lifetime, you are so blessed. You know, because I hear stories, man. That's why I keep a lot of my stuff to myself and all my documents. I got hair samples, I got cast prints, man. I got shit out the wazoo, but I keep it to myself. You know, because there's them armchair critics on YouTube, you know, and they want to go to Walmart and get them a rifle and go out there and hunt Bigfoot at night with a flashlight. Well, you ain't gonna make it out to start with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, good luck.
Yeah. I'd be too worried that it was, you know, because you hear other stories that it's not very nice. I mean, if you meet up with him,
it depend on what your intentions were, whether it was
exactly. They can pretty much sense you. Excuse me. All the years I've been doing this, I've come to learn they can sense you like a dog can sense you. You know, if you mean them harm, a dog's gonna bite you. You know.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. You know.
Look at that.
This is the picture you sent me. Can you see that? Okay, guys.
Yeah, I can see it. That's one of my juvenile casts I found. I got at one of my spots. Yeah, that's a baby juvenile print.
Okay.
I got plenty.
Okay.
I got plenty of big. What's that?
Have you come across many juveniles or mostly adults?
I've seen a few juveniles. I live on a dead end road where I'm at now, and I got a group over here I've been following for the last 7 or 8 years, and they got juveniles over here, but yeah, I've seen they love to play hide and seek with you. They like to throw little yeah, absolutely, the juveniles do. They like to throw little sticks at you, little rocks, stuff like that to get your attention, and if they go out of their boundary zone, if you know, of course, you know their family's right there. You know, they got that's just like the grown Bigfoots. You know, if you see one, shit, don't move because there's 5 or 6 around you. You'll never know. They have day watchers. You know, they got them sitting trees in days. You know, they'll lure you where they want you to go. Let's just say that they will make you go where they want you to go. You know.
Wow.
In a roundabout way.
And you're talking about like knocks or whoops or throwing, you know, rocks and things like that.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I don't know about the whoops. There's a lot of discussion on that. I'm not gonna get into that. It's percussion sound through their chest to me. That's because I've seen one do it. I've seen one with my own eyes do that. So I'm not saying they don't hit trees with sticks, but I've never seen one carry one in his back pocket, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see one and they'll start going a certain direction, they know you're going to follow them because it's curiosity, you know?
Yeah.
And the ones that are in the group, they like Indians. They travel in tribes. There's always more around that you'll never know about. And one will lure you, and then the rest will follow you. The rest will be all around you.
If you're in an area that they
and
don't let you in.
exactly. Oh, if you're in one of them areas, you'll leave. Yeah, you'll leave. I took a friend of mine. I follow 5 counties here by myself. I don't take people with me at all, because I just don't. It took me many years to get to see and know the ones that I actually can communicate with, and relate to. I took a friend of mine with me one time, and I knew better than to do it. I took him down there and I said, leave your gun in the truck. I don't take no weapons with me because hell, what's the point?
Yeah.
I said, if I tell you to go, it's time to go. Don't ask no questions. Don't be talking. Just keep your mouth shut. We got about 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile in, and I wasn't in my truck. We was in his truck. And I heard something, man. It sounded like a bulldozer come through the woods, and I heard the screams, and I'm like, "Fuck, man, it's time to go." It's time, And we got back, and they demolished his truck, man. I'm talking about there wasn't nothing on that truck that wasn't dented. He had a tree through the windshield. It was a Trailblazer 4-wheel drive. They had a tree through the windshield. I got it on the post on one of my pages, picture on my page, my group page. But they had a tree. It was probably 10 inches around. Went through the front windshield, knocked the back tailgate off, and it was probably 6 feet sticking out the front. There wasn't a smooth spot on that truck, and it happened that fast.
That's a
and
huge
it took
tree.
me. Yeah, well, they're huge people.
Yeah.
They're not creatures. They're beings. I don't call them creatures. They're not animals. They're beings, and they're just a different form of being. That's all.
Okay.
But I went back to that spot, and there's one there that I've been following, and I call him Benny. He's solid black. I've seen him since he was, Benny, like Benny and the Jets. And
I like it.
That's why I named him that, actually, because I was listening to that song before I got there, and I followed him. I've been following him for probably 7 years now. He was about 5 foot tall when I started following him. He's about almost 10 now.
Oh,
and
wow. That's a lot.
I think he's mentally, I believe he's mentally retarded, because it ain't like they can go pick up a phone book and call somebody. Squatch is inbreed. That's just a guaranteed
So that's
fact.
what you think they are?
And
you think they're inbred? Can you hear me all right?
I didn't hear you.
I said, do you think they're inbreds then? You don't think they're just one race, that they have their own little
I believe they
tribe?
I believe in earlier years, one had to breed with something else. I do that. I do believe that. But I believe that. But anyway, it took me years, man, and years. It took me 3 or 4 years to get their trust back, so I can go back by myself there in that same spot. And so if you ever break their trust, man, you're screwed.
So do you think they would actually hurt you then if they would kill you? You think those were?
I believe that. I don't believe they kill me. I can't say they wouldn't, but the ones that I follow, they know me personally.
Yeah.
But they it's like getting a wild animal. It's like getting a bobcat and put him in your house and call it a kitty cat. They're wild animals. They like it, but he's not in. They're not animals, but you get the gist of my point, right? I mean, you don't know what they would do. yeah, you don't know. I mean, I've had rocks hit me. I did a video about 3 weeks ago, and I did it live on my group page, and I was in a spot. I posted a picture on my page. It's a solid white one over here across the street from me.
Oh.
And I went back to that spot, and every time I go there, either my flashlight dies, my phone battery goes out, or something happens. And so I went there at night and recorded it, and I got hit in the back of the head with a rock, knocked me down to the ground, knocked the phone and everything out of my hand.
Yeah.
I got back up. It's on my group. You can check it out live, man. And then my flashlight died. And then I got past that spot and it come back on. But I had to end the video because I was going about 3 miles back up in the woods, and I couldn't take my phone with me up in there. So, so it's like a cell phone's like a trail camera to them. They can hear it. They can sense it,
Oh, yeah.
But
electromagnetic.
I got it. Yeah, exactly. But I got a lot of hair samples back there. I got a lot of everything back there. And yeah, it got my attention quick. But
I totally
I went about.
Oh
yeah.
I'm going to take a quick. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving here, and then we'll come back and discuss more. Well, you can answer this question there, Squatch Man, after this commercial break.
I'm thankful that we're all here enjoying life. Not everybody can do that.
On opportunities.
I'm thankful that I'm so fortunate for getting so much.
The Oracle Talk Radio Network is thankful for all of you. All of you make this happen. Thank you for such a great start, and we look forward to providing the best content for you.
There you go.
All right. We're back. Thank you for letting us do that. Wishing all of our fans and everybody out there watching a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully it's blessed and you guys get a lot of good food. So one of our great members, Joe, and hello to you, Joe, Squatch Man, said, so what you're saying is they do have some sort of special abilities. Have you seen any of that?
The ones I've been in contact with personally, I don't know about special abilities now. You have to kind of define that.
Well,
I know they can run.
More powerful senses.
Oh yeah, they can smell 10 times more than a bear can smell you, and that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I've seen them run. I've seen them climb straight up the side of a cliff over here by the river behind me. It was like a 45-degree angle. What's that?
Like right up a rock face, just right up the cliff.
Well, it wasn't rocks, but I mean, it was a big hill going down to the river. It was probably 100 foot high, maybe a little bit more. Okay. And I was following the juvenile. That's when I got flanked with the rock in the back of my head the first time down here. And me doing this all my life, I should have known better because I know there's more than one, but I was so intrigued with this juvenile. We've been playing hide and seek for the last week. And I finally seen him. And he shot off in front of me and went down to the creek. And then I heard the whoop and the grower, and I looked up and I seen the big one. And I don't know if that was the mom or the dad, whatever, but there's a hill straight up. And it made it up that hill in probably 10 seconds at a 45-degree angle running. And it was gone. And I just stood there for a minute. Like, did I really just see this shit? And it was probably 8, 9, 10 foot tall, but they have no problem running. I've seen them get on their all fours like a cat or something and squat way down, I've never seen them move on their all fours, but I've seen them go down on their all fours where their stomach is hitting the ground, their chest part.
That's amazing. Have you
Everybody
ever
keeps
gotten
saying,
any hair samples or anything?
no, I've never.
No.
If I've seen any, I've never smelt none because I'm sure it's a strong urine odor, but I've
Yeah.
never smelt none. No, I wish I
They don't
could.
smell
I don't know
very
what
good.
I'd do with it if I found it, because I tell most people that follow me, especially in my group, if you go out, always carry you some Ziploc bags with you, different sizes, in case you
smart.
get hair samples or
Yeah.
find something. Yeah, always look up and always look back because everybody's looking down at the ground for prints. There's more there than prints,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hair would be what, like 5-6 feet up, you know what I mean?
or more.
Snagged on a
Yeah.
branch.
I just found a nest of hair. It was black and coarse. It's bigger than the palm of my hand in a ball. It's probably 7 foot up across the bottom of a cypress tree. I just found that about 3 days ago.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's fascinating.
you mind if I say hello to somebody?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I gotta say hello to my buddy Ernie DeVoe. That's my buddy. Kenny, I know you watching me. You better be, boy. And my buddy Bob Smith in Scotland. They have them in Scotland too. He paints. He watercolor paints them for me and mails them to me over here in the United States. And I've bought a few, and they're absolutely fantastic. But I had to give them a shout out. I'm sorry.
No, by all means, give a shout out to whomever you like. And Joe says they are more than woodland terrestrial animals. If I may, Squatch Man, you don't believe they're animals. You believe they're more than beings. They're more as beings than animals.
They're like us, but a different kind of being.
Yeah.
I know they're flesh and blood for a fact. I do know that for a fact. But I don't know about the interdimensional stuff. Portals. I can't say yay or nay. I'm kind of leaning on the fence on that. But I've seen them. I've seen them run. In one of my spots in Forest, it's about 45 miles from here. I go there. There's a red female there I've been following with her little kids. And alrighty then. And I've seen her run beside my truck at 40 miles an hour on a gravel road and then disappear.
Ooh,
I mean, just completely gone. So I don't know if there's a portal, whatever you call it, or something like that. But I know she's running 40 miles an hour and she's gone. So she had to go somewhere,
Yeah. Well,
but
that's true.
I've seen them also run and jump in trees like gorillas or apes. I've seen them climb trees too because I know they're in trees. But
that's a fascinating point because many people think they're like clunky, but you're saying they're more agile than what they appear.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen one almost 11 foot that can probably jump 15 feet at once. Cross a 4-lane highway in 3 steps.
Oh
Quick.
man. Imagine that, Jenny.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So they're very agile for their size. But you know, that's what makes you wonder, something that big and that heavy, how can it move that damn fast? I mean, how can it? I followed print. If you look on my page, my group page, I cast a 17.5 foot print over here across from my house. That's the only one I found. About 60 yards down, I found another one, and I cast it, and I dropped it coming home with it. But that's the only 2 prints I found when I seen it leave. That's the only 2. So what happened to the other foot? You know what I mean? There's so much controversy in it. I mean, there's no expert whatsoever in the field of Sasquatch. None whatsoever. But
Squatch Man, tell everybody what the group is called again.
Oh, my group?
Yeah.
It's called the Elusive Ones.
Okay, so everyone follow Elusive Ones on Facebook.
The Elusive Ones. That's what I named it.
Yeah.
And there's.
Do you think that these missing people, like on Missing 411, are taken by Bigfoot?
8 out of 10, I believe so.
Oh.
And what do you think they're using them for something? Are they using them for food, or do you just think they just like to kill?
Man, I've had this conversation with a group of my friends that do the same thing here in Mississippi too, and we I don't know. I don't believe they're cannibals. I mean,
I don't believe that.
But at the same time, they can eat raw deer and raw everything. I mean, they might. They might. That's a hard call. But they survive. I mean, and they eat. Something that big has to have protein. Something that big has to eat all the time.
That's true.
I do know they follow the seasons. And they always follow the creeks, the rivers and the creeks. They always where the water is, and they always follow the seasons because of the food supply and the animals.
Yeah.
The group I have across from me now, it's getting wintertime now, cold. I'm gonna go back over there this coming weekend and to that spot and see if they took what I left them. And if they didn't, then I know they moved on. Because they follow the seasons, they don't stay in one place forever. But they do come back. They always come back.
They
always.
seem like they're very intelligent.
They're very intelligent. They're very intelligent. I'm gonna tell you something I've never told this before on the air. Me and my brother used to hand grab and poach alligators back home in Louisiana. This was years and years ago, when everybody needed to eat. It wasn't illegal then. This is probably, 25, 30 years ago.
Okay.
And just when he got out of the service, and we was raised in the woods and the swamps, and so nothing at night or nothing in the woods or swamps really scares me, But we was in his boat. He had a 16-foot boat, and we had probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 10-foot gators in there, maybe, 8, 10 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled up to the bank, and his name was Jesse, and Jesse rolled his own cigarettes. He always paper rolled since I was a kid, man. And we pulled up to the bank, got out. He was sitting there rolling him a cigarette, and he heard a tree break. And he jumped up and grabbed his gun. He said, "Hold the rope, I'll be right back." Yeah, he's talking about the rope to the boat. Yeah. And I don't know if you ever been in a swamp in Louisiana at night, but you can hear a gnat fart at 100 yards. It's so quiet.
Really?
Peaceful.
Okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Everything echoes off the wall. And I stood there, and I started getting paranoid because I didn't hear him no more, And the next sound I heard was it walked behind me, where I was standing at by this tree. This Sasquatch walked directly behind me. Never touched me. I never smelt it or nothing. That's what's weird. And the only thing I heard when it come behind me, it stepped in the water in the swamp right behind the boat.
Okay.
And I turned around and looked, and it wasn't even up to his waist yet. And we was probably in probably 4 foot of water where the ass end of the boat was sitting. And it just stared at me, stared at me, and turned around and walked off. And it got almost to the other side of the Chapala Basin, and it made this scream, man. Shit, I had nightmares about that forever. It's just something you don't forget. But
that's terrifying.
yeah, but anyway, we was somewhere one night doing that, and we both got attacked by one or two or whatever, and they found me 2 days later, and I lost my brother that night, and so I got what do you call it? I got PSTD kind of bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand.
That's why I'm single. Shit, I wake up in cold sweats or in the corner of the room in the floor. And it's something you don't forget. And the people that know what I went through think I'm crazy for doing what I'm doing. I'm saying, look, man, I'm not scared of them. You know, not anymore. I mean, if they wanted to kill you, they could kill you. You know, and so I just want to know why. Just why, period. You know, that can cover a broad range of spectrum. But in my personal experience, that's why I do it. I want to know why. Just period. Why? Yeah. And I've been following them all these years. I've gotten pretty close to quite a few of them. I got pictures on my page of one standing under my carport window looking through my window. Standing under my carport looking through my window. And the bottom of the window is 5 foot. And his head is almost as tall as the top of that window. And he's sitting there staring at me. And when I looked up with my phone, he kind of put his back to the wall and I snapped a picture of him. And I got that. It's on one of my group pictures. But yeah, it's an interesting subject. It's an interesting field to follow, you know. But when you follow it as long as I have, it's not like let's just say, okay, tomorrow's Sunday, we're gonna go get ice cream. Well, okay. And then forget about the rest of the week. You can't do that. I mean, when you get involved in them, you're 100% involved in them. You can't stop.
I can imagine.
You can't stop. You know, and that's what I do. I work and I come home, and that's what I do. You know, so
yeah. I got a question. Sorry about that, Squatch Man. Just want to jump in with a question.
You go ahead,
buddy. Joe, one of our listeners, wants to know how do their teeth look? Have you been close enough to see?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, they're flat. Everybody says they have fangs. They don't have fangs. They're flat on the bottom. No, they don't have fangs. Yeah.
About that,
the ones I've seen, their teeth are solid flat all the way across. Wow. Big, but they flat. Yeah.
Did you? So you saw them, but you never had the opportunity to take a picture of them, like, or do you have some?
Oh, he has plenty of pictures on the on his
Yeah, I'm looking on him. I'm trying to find one. I mean, I see the footprints, but I'm not seeing. I'm just curious to see if I could see one that you saw. You said there was one on your Facebook page of looking through the window.
Look up my page, the elusive ones. First thing you'll see, you should see a picture of the footprint and him in the background.
Let me see this one.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I only saw the one with the footprint.
But so let me ask you this, Squatch Man. You have different words around the United States, right, for these type of creatures. You know, you got the Sasquatch, you got skunk ape,
right.
You know, you got Yeti, all around the world, right?
Right.
Do you believe they're all in the same family, or do you think they're all cousins? You know, are they different?
I believe they're in the same family. They got to be.
Okay.
They got to be because, but I mean, how else can you explain it? They've been around for thousands of years, and they all doing pretty much 100% the same thing, just different parts of the world.
Absolutely,
you know?
and you know, one of these things is, you know, years ago you were really only hearing these. Oh, that's a fascinating one, Squatch Man. That's huge. Look how big that is.
Yeah, that's 17 and a half. I got that across the street from my house.
He's 17
Wow.
and a half wide.
That's a
real
Bigfoot.
wide. Real wide, too.
Yeah.
That's a Bigfoot. Look at that.
Yeah. So, what was
I believe that. Let's see. Yeah, if you blow it up, you might still see some hair in it. I think that's the one that's still got some hair left in it.
See.
Yeah.
See if I can blow it up.
There you go. Zoom in. There we go. Hold on. Where would it be? Toes or heel?
It's up toward the toes, I believe. I think that's the one that has the hair in it. I've gotten several, but that's one of the most clearest ones I got.
Let me see if I can grab the other one. Maybe I got the wrong one.
Yeah. Maybe.
You see that one? I don't see any hair, do you?
It's probably hard to see when you're sharing it.
I mean, it's a big ass foot.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. My foot. There's another picture. I found that across the street too, by the creek. I took that one and I put my boot right beside of it. And I wear a 12.5 boot.
And it was,
and
we saw the one with the boot and next to it.
It's swallowed.
And to hear that you're 12 and a half, it's just fascinating.
It swallowed me, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think they, you said they live with families and, their families and things like that. Do you think they, like follow pack rules where you have a leader, you know what I mean? And then you have your secondary and then the females are more.
I'm sure you have. I don't know if the females are more dominant than the males. I don't know that. But I do know, yeah, they got to have rules. I mean, you just can't all run buck wild. I mean, there's a place about 80 miles from here I go to once a month. I went up there and they had some cane field. It's on the end of a cane field road. And the cane field's been there for years. It's been abandoned, and I went up there one weekend, and they was broke, probably almost 7 foot. At all the tops was broke, pointing down. And I'm like, and as far as you can see down the cane field row, they was all broke from a certain spot all the way to the wood line. And I'm like, wow, that's intriguing as shit. So I started following the breaks, and it went into the wood line. And after about 2 hours of me following it, it made a circle from where I started at all the way through the woods and come around behind my truck while I was parked and went back to that spot. It was like a big, huge circle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't.
Man, I'm looking at a video. Is that a video of Bigfoot?
On your page?
Sitting in the. Oh yeah, on your page.
It's possible.
Because I seen something black move.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
In the meantime, Squatch Man, you got a howdy from KHR 797 Kenneth.
Thank you very much.
He says, "Your good buddy Squatch Man, howdy to you, and howdy to all the live listeners." All right, can you see this, Squatch Man?
Oh, there's like halfway through. I seen something to the right.
Yeah.
Rock. There.
Okay.
Wait,
yeah, it's in there. Yep, I forgot about that one. I got there. That's fresh. They tore the woods up right there. You can watch. If you know anything about the tree structures,
see it?
You'll see it.
Yeah.
Was that I saw on the right?
Yeah.
Did you see
There's
that
a solid white. There's a solid white ash tree in front of you too.
Over here.
To the right. Yep.
Over by my.
It don't plump. It's right there somewhere. He's right there.
Coming up.
Yeah, he'll come in. Right.
Wait, I just saw it. Where'd it go?
That's Benny.
Oh, so that's Benny. That's the solid black one.
Yeah, it's the solid black one. That's where I go. That's my favorite one.
Did I go too far?
You might have.
Let me move back.
Yeah, go back.
Because it was over here.
If you play it and go on down, there's another one, a juvenile, where I stopped at in the tree, and you can see the leaves move right in front of me, fall down.
Yes, I saw it over this way, where my pointer is.
You might have to go even further back.
Well, no, really? Okay, I'll go back.
Yeah, go back to like
I'll go all the way back,
yeah.
but it's over this way where I saw it.
Yeah, it's to the right.
It's
Yeah,
coming up.
You got a good eye.
Yeah, because it was right after that little pause.
He was like walking through the trees.
Yeah, he's.
Yep.
There. No, that wasn't it.
There he is. There he is. He's over there. You see him?
There he is. Yep.
There he was. And you're right, Squatch Man. He does look all dark. One color.
Yeah, he's solid black. That's Benny.
Benny. Now I forget. Did you say Benny was a juvenile or a full-grown adult?
I started following when he was young, but I think he's about 10 foot now.
Okay.
He's still young.
Maxed out?
Yeah.
They maxed out about 10 foot?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
if you go all the way to the end, you'll see.
Okay.
Sebastian.
I see something way down there too.
He called you Squatch Man. He called you fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You're bringing them all out tonight, Squatch Man, with these wonderful videos and stories and everything.
Thank you very much.
This is what we always fell in love with. Anybody that went into the cryptid world, UFO, paranormal, anything in that nature, you always have a sense of outdoors and adventure and finding these creatures. It's one of the most earliest memories I have. You know what I mean? Is going out in the woods, in your parents' house, your grandparents, wherever it was. You know what I mean? And it's the sense of adventure that always keeps us going. You know what I mean? You can't not love the outdoors if you're a paranormal, UFO, or cryptid lover.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Yeah.
I think you have one. We have a couple more. Let me see what this one is.
Yeah, I have a couple of them on there.
What about this one, Squatch Man? Looks like you're in your truck.
I think that's the one. Man, I've got so many of them, man. It'll take me a minute.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't
off the top of the tree.
I don't post a lot of them, but I post some just to let people know, hey, man, check this out. You know.
Yeah. Looks like it clear broke off the top of the tree right there.
Oh yeah. About 8 foot.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Interesting.
Let me ask you this, Squatch Man. Do you find they're more active after rain, not in the rain, at night, dusk, dawn? What would you say?
I think they're more active in the afternoon myself, early morning or late afternoon.
Okay.
You looking for a track?
This right here?
Yeah.
I was in the all right. This one right here, I got home from the hospital. I was gone a week. This is a tree in my front yard. This was left for me.
Oh wow.
Oh, so this was left in your front yard.
They put this in my front yard. It's 10 feet from the front of my house.
Look at that.
This is what
It's like
this is what I
perfectly
found.
balanced.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Everything's just there. They got a little feather in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's
like they fashioned a rope out of a vine or something.
right. Watch this part, though. This big part right here.
Yeah.
I almost walked into it. I never even seen it. Look at this.
Look how it's balanced.
It's all
there,
balanced.
Jenny.
It's all balanced. There's nothing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is really
left
wild. I can't believe
They left that for me. They made that for me. I guess they missed me, huh?
They did. There was a get well soon.
They must have.
They couldn't go to the drugstore and get you a card.
I know. That means a lot. That means a lot more to me than a card, bro. Trust me.
Yeah. That's very good. That's true.
You know, when I started following them where I live now, they used to slap the back of my house at night about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I found out later that's the juveniles want me to come outside. They want to play.
Oh, they want to play with.
Yeah, they slap my bedroom wall at night.
Oh, they say wake up.
Get up. Time to play.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Oh, that's
Love
so
it.
wonderful. You're living the dream, Squatch Man.
I guess.
I love it. It's amazing. Well, it was so great to have you here tonight. I'm so glad we finally got you on the show because this is really interesting.
I know, right?
And everybody was
Thank you for
wanting to
having
hear
me.
about it. No, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll have to bring you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have any other new evidence, come on. You send us a message. We'll get you back on. And let all the people know your group again and where they can find you.
It's called the Elusive Ones on the Facebook page. Just message me or send me an invite. I'm the Squatch Man in Mississippi. I had to make that clear to certain people. But Squatch Man in Mississippi is that's what I'm on Facebook as.
That's awesome.
You heard it, people. Go give them a
so
follow.
Happy to have you. We'll have to have you back on when you get some more evidence, okay?
Yes.
No problem. I'd love to come back. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank
Good.
you,
You
Squatch
have
Man.
a take
You have a
it
great
easy and
night.
have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.
Yes, thanks.
That was interesting. I love those
was-
videos.
Yeah.
Wish
that
she had
was.
some more because I love watching videos.
I know. I can't wait to get him back on with some new evidence and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He does put a whole new paint job on Bigfoot, and that's why we love Squatch Man. And he's a. How did we find him? Sean? Was it Sean?
Sean, of course,
Okay.
Sean. Yeah,
Sean
Sean
always
has a lot
the
of connection,
the hookup for everybody. But no, he has a wonderful time, and his page is really worth a good follow. It's updated constantly with all kinds of things, and Bigfoot though, Jenny, that's something that has grown over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
You have the BFRO now. You have.
I don't know how he can. I mean, yeah, Sean does. Sean Kelly rocks. Yes, he does.
Absolutely.
He's a really down to earth guy. I don't know. I don't know how. I'd be too scared driving in the woods looking for Bigfoot. I mean, what if you what if you got one that woke up on the wrong side of the tree or something, and he just.
And that's a good point because being that large, it might not even want to hurt you, but does. You know what I mean? Like being that big.
Yeah, but there's just too many missing people that they don't know what happened to them, and I think that Bigfoot took them.
That's a popular theory out there, and you even heard Squatch Man say 8 out of 10 he would chalk up to being taken in that way. And you also heard what he said about if you have the wrong intention. You know what I mean? If you have the wrong intention, they're not going to be happy. I mean, they like him because he's very friendly with them. He gives offerings. His family had given offerings before.
Yeah.
So they know he's one of the good ones. But if you're slumming a gun over your shoulder, walking around and you're trying to shoot at it And like he said, they move in herds or packs. If you shoot at one, you might shoot at one, but you're missing the other 3 or 4 that are around you.
Well, you can see how this Bigfoot Benny wanted to interact with him. He let him see him. He let him videotape him. But there's so many sightings, and it's so unusual that there's not very many evidence through pictures. I mean, there's not too many.
No.
And if they are, they look like they're fake. So his didn't look like it was fake. It looked like it was genuine.
No, I mean the biggest one is the Patterson Gimlet one, and that is still not debunked all these years later. Because we still don't have a suit that can do what that suit did if it was faked. Kenneth, he helped me get in the right direction and how to interact at the place I lived for a few years. That's wonderful. You know, that's great. Squatch Man's he seems like a really good guy, willing to help people. And you're right, Joe. Why do we as humans want to kill everything? Fear, I would say, probably, is the biggest, determining factor of it. If you have a weapon that can kill something and you get scared, your first natural reaction, right, is to use it. So I would imagine that has to be it. We're so used to being the apex, right? You know what I mean? We're the top of the food chain, but we're the top of the food chain how we live in society now. If you go to a lion's den, you're not top down there. If you go into a grizzly bear or Kodiak bear den, you're not there.
You're in trouble.
You go in the water, you're not there. You know what I mean? So it's fear that I think causes a lot of our own destruction. That's
because if you don't know what it is, you think it's going to hurt you, and let's kill it.
Yeah, absolutely,
well,
Jenny.
what would you do? Okay, if we found out that those UAPs were Bigfoot,
that I don't know I don't know if that would change a lot for me, though. I don't know if it would change how I view them, because if they're intelligent beings, what does it matter that they came from someplace else? They're here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just if they're in the woods and they don't have clothes on and they're running around all hairy, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know. Do they have their own language? But can they communicate with us is the question.
I would have to think they have some sort of language, whether it's unsaid. But if they are from another planet, it could be telepathy, something we don't have.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've heard a lot about that because especially when they leave gifts and stuff, that they knew that something was wrong with him.
You're right.
He was in the hospital.
That's a good point.
So they were giving him I'm sorry, you're feeling bad or whatever. Let me, give you a get well card, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like that if I saw something like that in my yard. I would be.
Would you be scared at that?
Yeah, I mean, well. Yeah, well, you know what? I heard crows do the same thing. They leave.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very smart.
Crows leave little trinkets if you become friends with them, and you can because they're so intelligent. And I didn't know that. Okay, first of all, I'm comparing a crow with Bigfoot. Okay. I don't crows they're scavengers and they eat the dead animals. If they're so intelligent, why are they eating dead animals? Why can't they go and, go into the wilderness and kill fresh animals? Because most of the time they're really gross, they're maggots and stuff, unless they like that kind of stuff.
That's
as a mill.
I think the intelligence comes into play. It's more intelligent to eat the dead animal because I know I don't have to work as hard.
You're so funny, Joe. As a male, I wear a size 12 and a half shoe, but the rumors are certainly not true about big feet. Well, I think it's more like if you have big hands, Joe. I don't know. I never saw your hands up close. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. See, we have a measurement for feet. We don't have a glove size measurement. You know what I mean? We don't have an 8 in gloves. We don't have a 10 in gloves.
We probably would have had a lot more people, but the Steelers aren't. I'm really not a football fan. I lost interest when, was it the guy that killed all the dogs? What was his name?
Vic. Yeah. Yeah, it was a bummer. And we got Joe laughing. So it's been another successful episode with Joe laughing.
That's good. We were aimed to make you laugh. Seriously.
Yeah,
What did
absolutely.
you like?
Whether with us or at us, one way or the other.
Yeah, whatever. So next week is Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if we're going to be on, guys. I haven't made up my mind. It's up to Tom.
We'll have a show. It might be an archive show or a show that was taped. But
because I have to, the matriarch of the family. I have to do all the,
Jenny
although my son is making a turkey in the smoker, and I'm not really happy about it, so I got my own little tiny 12-pounder that I'm going to stick in the oven.
Yeah.
And when you're on keto, you really don't have the desserts, and carnivore, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to eat the turkey.
Oh, come on. Live a little.
No, I've lived a lot. I don't need to live anymore. No, you know what? It's really good for my pain level. So
that's good.
I do.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, Joe, too.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's going to be, I'll watch the dog show. Is it still on, the dog show?
Yeah, they do the dog show right after the parade, right? I don't know.
I thought it was
might be
in
on
the
Peacock.
Was it on the I thought it was in the evening. I can't remember.
They replay it at night too.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for shows, let us know. Like Joe and Sebastian. If you have any ideas, what you'd like to, what kind of content you'd like to see,
send us a message on Facebook
of
a show you would like to see, and we will do it.
Someone right here. I swear there's a troll in here. They are what birds?
Carrion birds.
What does that mean? What is a carrion bird? Tom, look it up. He's so into looking up things.
I know. They are carrion birds, which means that they are such as vultures, condors, and other animals other birds that eat carcasses of others.
Yeah, but why, if they're so smart, why would they eat a dead bird or dead animal?
Because they don't
unless they eat dead flesh. Why? Who eats dead flesh, Joe? That just doesn't seem very intelligent thing to do, considering all the germs and all the problems.
Well,
dead fish. I thought it said dead fish. I can't see.
We eat dead animals. We're intelligent.
Oh, they're not dead. They're dead, but they haven't been sitting out for days. And maggots.
Well, maybe they don't set them out for days, but yeah. Maybe.
I don't know about you guys. But while we have Mr. Predictor here, I'll make sure he's on.
Ask, will Jenny see a Bigfoot in her life?
I can't remember what's on. I can't see. Well, I see.
Creepy.
Yes, without question.
So Jenny,
if I see one of you guys in my window tonight, I'll know it's you. I heard of Bigfoot before. I really did. I did. I was in 2015 in November 12th to be specific. 2015, I was in my bedroom and I heard this horrible. I've talked about it all the time. Talked to Sean about it all the time. It was the most horrifying sound I ever heard. And I was so scared I got my son. Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I definitely want to see a picture of your hands. And I said, oh my God, it was so scary. He slept in my bed that night because he heard it too. And he was in his 20s.
Well, that's all right.
Seriously.
Yeah, but I think if you hear a scary sound, there's something about it that chills you right to your core.
Yeah, because this was horrifying.
Yeah, I can imagine. You heard Squatch Man talking about the sounds he heard and how he had dreams or nightmares about it for years.
Oh, yeah, I had nightmares about it. And actually, I went on all the forums. I went on Reddit. I went on the local. Did anybody hear? And the thing was, we heard it jump.
Ugh.
It was on the roof and it jumped. And that's when I thought it was Thunderbird. I thought it was a Thunderbird because there's some
Did you
creepy
hear it
ass.
get up on the roof?
I heard it outside my window.
So
And that
maybe
was what, it was like sort of like Dracula. You know how Dracula in the one scene, he goes to the woman's, I think it was Mia. He went to the window and he's like, let me in.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, it was so awful. It was so scary. It was so freaking scary. I was scared to death. I'll never forget it as long as I live. And I did go and I checked to see if anybody else was hearing the same things, and no one. But there was a sighting about a Bigfoot sighting. Hi, Sean.
Sean, good to see you.
Sean, you have to come on. You keep saying you might. No, I want you on my show again. What is that? Once
you get in tune with your areas and have an acknowledgement moment, you see them a lot more often in these areas. And we've heard that, Brian said the same thing. Once you become one with the not one with the forest, but once you become seen so often, you're not an outsider anymore. You're just one of the people in the forest that they see, and they show themselves more likely. They're more likely to show themselves.
But were they ever in a suburban area, not rural? Well, I live in the rural. I guess that would be rural by the farms. But it's not. There's not a lot of, there's residential areas.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm in the forest living or the woods. It's
Maybe
like
they can't leave the forest.
That's a good thought. I wonder if there's like a.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it is in that portal theory,
like a fairy. You know how fairies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You believe the fairies, like Sean. I keep saying Sean because Sean cracks me up with his fairies. Okay. I did make him a fairy garden.
Is that the one you put on Facebook?
Yes, the one that's on TikTok.
Nice. Yeah,
yes,
nice.
It's for my granddaughter, and she just loves little fairies too now. I believe in the creatures of the night. I believe in the creatures of the forest, and I believe there's a totally different realm at night that we don't know. So I think that's probably when Bigfoot really is active. I believe it's active when in the night instead of the day. Like you have the creatures of the night, like bats and stuff that we have so many out. I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And if you are a camper or a hunter and have a story and you're listening to this now or on the podcast, message us, Chasing Prophecy Radio Show on Facebook. And tell us you would like to tell your story, because that's something we always want to throw out there, right, Jenny?
Yeah, totally. I just feel like there is so much stuff that we don't know about, and there's a lot of people who are afraid to talk about it. And this is a comfort-free, no judge.
Yeah, we'll just
area that you can
talk about it. Yeah,
and the fair folk. Yeah, I believe. You know what? Fairies is a big topic right now in the literature world. A lot of books are written about the fairies. We go back as far as Lord of the Rings, and we had with the fairies and the elves and the little hobbits. Going back to Tolkien. I mean, they've been around for a long time.
They all had to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're all like fables and stuff. They're coming into a real busy area getting food from. Yeah, you know what? Maybe they're building so much, Kenneth. Maybe they're building
construction
that they don't have a place to go, and they're coming more into the suburban, like the areas where there's people. That's a good thing. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
a lot of sense.
Because all the restaurants are closed at night, right? So if it came in and grabbed,
they come in, definitely. And it's nice to have people like Squatch Man that come out and talk about it, because it gives, takes the taboo away from it. We're going back to Skinwalker Ranch and how there's all these documentary series on Netflix and stuff and Amazon that's showing more and more people talking about it. And Skinwalker Ranch, that goes right back to Indians, So or I'm sorry, did
Yeah.
I say that right? Indignant. How do you say it? Indigenous or whatever they call it?
Indigenous. Yeah.
Indigenous. Yeah. I don't know.
I won't say his name, but speaking on that, since you mentioned it, I won't mention the guy's name, but I know a full-blooded Native American, and he has no problem with any of the nonsense that people were up in arms about changing the names of like sports teams and things like that. He said it's just another way for them to get rid of us. He said, I would love for all these sports teams to keep their names. I would love to be called, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, I remember when I was in high school, we had the Indians, and I don't even know if they still do that now. I mean, because they probably don't.
A local
It's
school near me changed their name a few years ago from
stupid.
that. Yeah. Yep.
It's
And
stupid.
he had no problem with it. He said, "You people," talking about regular Americans. What he said, "You have more of a problem with it than we all do."
They're always trying to change something, but when it
I know.
comes to, well, what about did you know the disclosure, the congressional hearings was it last week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they say they were going to do another one?
Oh yeah, there's plenty more coming up. You'll have to wait until the Senate schedule comes out because they're about to hit their break. But once that comes out, they'll have more on this because it's a whistle. It's a part of testimony. It's a part of an indictment on people who willingly know about this. So they still keep working towards having enough evidence with their skiffs and their public hearings and things like that. So keep an eye out. Really, keep an eye out because more's coming when they reconvene in January about what's coming out.
Well, I hope so. I read that what's that fella's name? His book called what's it called?
Lou Elizondo?
Yeah, what's the book called? I just
Imminent.
read it. What's it called?
Imminent?
Intimate.
Imminent,
Yeah.
like soon.
Yeah, it was scary. I mean, they're not very nice people, those creatures. I don't think so. And
No, he's on that side of, I don't know if it's a demon. I don't know if it's an
I
alien.
don't know if it's a
Either way,
demon
they're
too.
not. You have good ones and you have bad ones.
Well, yeah. I mean, with those ones they seem like that one video on TikTok, that looked really creepy. The one that looked legit.
And plug for Beyond the Radar. I read the Immaculate Constellation report to everyone, and it laid out specifically. We don't have the video yet, but that jellyfish in Afghanistan, you might think it's all the way away over there. What they didn't tell you about was the jellyfish at the U.S.-Mexico border. There's one over here, and they're trying to get that video.
It does look like a jellyfish.
It looks like a jellyfish in the video because of how disturbed it is, and not the high res images.
Yeah,
that
the
are
high
all
resolution. What is it? Is there really
in
an
the high
alien driving it?
resolution. It's either it looks like a gray.
Yeah, it looked like a gray driving.
It looks like a gray in something like this with like mechanical appendages out hanging below it, like arms. And it's amphibious, so it can go in water and in air. And obviously it has no propulsion, so it's completely flying with anti-gravity material, stuff that we're not supposed to have in this dimension.
But let me ask you this: why would they let us film them?
Well, they didn't know we were filming them because what that video was a thermal image, not a camera.
Okay, but why were they in Afghanistan? Were they checking out the war? Was it during the war?
So from that full report, what we saw was only a very small clip of it. But from that report is that longer video has it going in and out of our army base.
Oh.
And to the most high sensitive areas, meaning it didn't go in the barracks, it didn't go in the food hall, it didn't go in any of that stuff. It went to the most secret places. And so whether you believe in aliens or not, from Lou Elizondo's point is it's
Yeah.
something, and it's either us and you don't know about it, Congress. It's either another species like an alien, or it's another country that has just lapped us in technology. Either way, you need to know about it. And that was the whole
Exactly.
argument.
He said that they have the technology to actually blow us up or kill us, and we're not doing it. But it's so funny because all those TikTok videos, how they said, "Oh, we have aliens in the ocean and nobody cares," like I
That's
just
so
said that
old. We
at
knew
dinner
about
before.
yeah. Sorry
I
about
just
that.
can't understand.
Go ahead.
We have aliens in the ocean and no one cares.
I hear you. I hear you, but people in our community knew about the water, the USOs. We knew about that stuff well before.
Well, yeah, we did, but they don't want to tell us. They don't want to. Why? We don't know exactly what they are, so we just don't want to tell you right now because we don't know for sure what it is. It's so stupid.
They don't know for sure because, well,
just tell me.
Us humans suck in the water. We can't build shit to go in the water fast. We can't be in the water for more than however long. We're not good in the water. They can zip up and down and left and right.
The
and
thing is, there's so much of the ocean that we know. It's like a totally different world.
It is.
They haven't even touched it.
There's
it's like, why
that
don't
the bottom
they?
of the ocean is outer
instead
space.
of worry, it's like so stupid. Wasting our money on other stuff like that.
Oh, I get it. And there's also, I saw some that, how when we test nuclear weapons, we do underwater tests.
Sorry, there's somebody in here. Aliens are with me right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I better get off and go to sleep.
Yeah. No, another wonderful episode, Jenny. Oh, it was always a pleasure. Always a pleasure with you.
It was a good episode. I'm so glad everybody tuned in tonight. I really appreciate it. And that you guys make us who we are, and we need your support.
Yes,
so we can still make this great content for you. We're not going to make it if you don't want to listen. So
we're not going to hold you down and make you listen.
We'll get some good guests on here. Yeah, so let us know what you want to watch, but don't be shy. Tell us. But
yeah.
Anyways,
if you want us to do movie reviews, if you want us to talk about shows, documentaries, paranormal, UFOs only, whatever, drop us a comment, line, anything.
Definitely. Well, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we're going to wrap it up. Right, Tom?
Bye, everyone.
Did we just hit that end? Is our exit going to come on? I don't know.